Hey guys, welcome to Home Bar Pro, where I teach you how to make professional cocktails at your home bar. Today we're talking about 5 easy to make gin cocktails. To start, we're going to do the Tom Collins. It's basically a gin and sparkling lemonade. So, as always, we start with the cheapest ingredients first. So I'm going to go ahead and use some simple syrup. This is just a 1-to-1 simple syrup, 1 part granulated sugar to 1 part hot water. Just mix those together. I do it by weight. I'm going to take 1 ounce of simple syrup into a mixing tin. I'm going to be doing a 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 parts gin to 1 part lemon juice and 1 part simple syrup. So I've already got the 1 ounce of simple syrup. I'm going to take my lemon here and juice it. All right, so I'm going to juice this right into the jigger so I can measure how much juice I'm getting out of it. That's a little less than a half. There we go. 1 ounce of lemon juice into the mixing tin. And now we're going to measure 2 ounces of gin. A nice citrus forward gin will work really well in this cocktail. I'm using Citadel, not sponsored, but it's a nice citrusy gin from France. Alright, then we're going to get our Collins glass. This glass is actually named for this drink, right? So the Tom Collins goes in a Collins glass. It's going to be a tall cylinder type glass. And you're going to fill that with ice. Just like that. And then you're going to fill your small mixing tin with ice as well. We're going to shake this up. Doesn't need a super long or hard shake since it is getting a little extra dilution with soda water here. So to our Collins glass, you can get yourself some soda water. This is a little warm, so it's a little bubbly. Pro tip, the colder you can get your soda water or tonic water, the better, because more of the gas will stay trapped in. So I'm going to add a little bit of soda water there. This is going to help with the mixing of everything together. Then you just strain cocktail into there with the soda water. And for a garnish, I grab another lemon here. And I'm just going to cut a little wheel. And in that wheel, I'm just going to make a little notch so that can sit right on the rim of the glass like that. And there is the Tom Collins. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little taste. Really nice, really crisp, refreshing. As I said, it's essentially gin and sparkling lemonade, except you're making the lemonade fresh to order, so you're getting those bright lemon citrus flavors. Delicious. Alright, the next cocktail we're doing today is the Bee's Knees. So this is essentially a gin sour, but using honey syrup as your sweetener. So, thus the bee. To make honey syrup, it's 1 part water to 1 part honey. And just mix those together until it all dissolves, and there you go. I use warm water from a kettle, make it easier to dissolve. The reason you make a honey syrup instead of just using honey is because honey won't mix into a cold cocktail. It needs to be warm. Alright, so as always, starting with the least expensive ingredients first. Just as with the Tom Collins, this is going to be a 2-1-1 ratio recipe. So it's going to be 1 part, and in this case that 1 part is 1 ounce. 1 ounce of the honey syrup into the small side of my shaker. And then this one is also going to use lemon juice, and I'm going to cut a lemon wheel ahead of time this time. I'm going to do it really thin because I'm actually going to float that on top of the drink. It's going to be served in this coupe glass right here. So I'm going to go ahead and juice half a lemon. I'm looking for about 1 ounce of juice. So we'll see how juicy this lemon is. need another half. These lemons look really pretty, but they don't have much juice in them. Alright, so that's 1 ounce of lemon juice. And then lastly, going with the gin again, this is going to be 2 ounces of gin. Then I'm going to fill a small half here with ice. Lock that together and give it a good hard shake for about 10 to 12 seconds. Got that nice and cold and frosty. And because I am serving this up, I'm going to give it a double strain, a fine strain, just a mesh strainer like this to catch any ice chips. And also, because this drink contains honey, you get a nice little foam on top of there. So last step will be taking that lemon wheel. This time, rather than perch it on the edge, I didn't cut a slit because I'm just going to float that right on top of the cocktail like that. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little taste. Just an excellent sour style drink. If you like lemon drops, I think you'd really like this. It's like a lemon drop, but more complex and sophisticated because A, it's gin, so there's a lot more going on there botanically than a vodka, and B, the honey gives really nice notes as well. And of course you can experiment with different kinds of honey. This I think is like a alpha honey, but like clover honey, all those gonna give different flavors. I think this would be a good cocktail for people that say they don't like gin. And there you have it, the bee's knees. All right, the next drink is a gin and tonic. You might be thinking, a gin and tonic, isn't that just 2 ingredients? Why do I need to watch a video to know how to make it? Well, as I've mentioned before on this channel, the fewer ingredients in the cocktail, the easier it is to screw up because there's so much influence in those few cocktail ingredients, right? So, what is most of a gin and tonic? It's the tonic water. So the tonic water is arguably more important than the gin in this cocktail, so a really good tonic water is important. I'm going to be using Fever Tree, not sponsored, but it's a product I really like. So this is a built drink, which means you're going to build it right in the glass you drink it from. I'm not going to be using a cocktail shaker. So first I'm going to add my ice to the glass. I'm going to measure 2 ounces of gin. Just like that. And to that, I'm going to top it off with the tonic. Again, the colder you can get your tonic water, your soda waters, the better they're going to be, the more carbonated they are going to stay. So if you look at that glass, you can tell this drink is about 1 part gin and 2 parts tonic water. So the tonic water is the majority of the drink, so that's why having a really nice tonic water like Fever Tree is so important. Again, not sponsored, just really like this product. So, the garnish in a gin and tonic is a functional garnish, meaning the guest or you at home drinking it is meant to engage with it in such a way. So I'm actually going to use a lime wedge in this case. So I'm going to cut the little brown stem end off, cut this in half, and I'm going to put a little slit in the lime there to make it easy to perch on the side, and then I'm going to give a nice healthy lime wedge because the juice in this is an integral part of the cocktail. So you'd serve it like that, the lime on the edge. The wedge implies that someone should squeeze it, and if you do squeeze it, the acidity from that lime plays really nicely with the kind of sweet bitterness of the tonic water. And there you have it, the gin and tonic. Just what more can you say? It's a sweeter drink than than the two drinks I've made so far, as the tonic water is a sweetened soda beverage, but the lime juice does help to sort of cut that sweetness and balance it out. Nice, refreshing for a warm day by the pool, gin and tonic. All right, this next drink is a Gim Gimlet. Now, this drink will be served in a coupe glass. It was traditionally made with a lime cordial. Many recipes call for Rose's lime cordial. I don't know if Rose's lime cordial used to be different in the past when it was first created, but these days it's not good. It's food coloring, it's high fructose corn syrup, it's none of the things you want to be drinking in a craft cocktail. So what a lot of bartenders do is they'll essentially make a gin daiquiri, swapping gin in for the rum, and just having gin, lime juice, and simple syrup, which is nice. It's a good drink, but I feel it's missing a little of the bitterness that comes from a lime cordial, which is traditionally made by simmering lime peels and sugar and all that. So a shortcut for home, since I personally wouldn't do it, I wouldn't expect you to make a lime cordial for one drink. A shortcut I've come up with is to do something similar to what you would with like a caipirinha, where you actually muddle the limes. So you're not only getting the juice, but you're getting the oils and sort of the bitterness, that biting bitterness, which is sort of a hallmark of a really good gimlet, and you're going to get that from the peels. So I'm going to go ahead and cut half a lime into wedges. I'm going to add the wedges to my tin here, and then to that I'm going to add just over a ½ ounce of simple syrup. All these other drinks so far have been like equal parts citrus and sugar. This one you want to be a little bit drier. You want to be nice and tart, so that's why I went with the ½ ounce. Alright, so you've got your simple syrup and your lime wedges in the tin. You're going to go ahead and muddle. When you're muddling this, you really want to sort of give it some elbow grease. Some drinks, especially if you're muddling something like fresh herbs like mint, you want to go pretty easy on it. You don't really want to pulverize the mint and bruise it, but with this drink, you're not only juicing the lime by doing this, but you're expressing all those nice oils out of the peel. Alright, lastly, I'm going to add 2 ounces of gin. Again, this is not sponsored. Any nice citrus gin would work excellently in a gimlet. Alright, last step, just add ice to the tin and give it a nice, good hard shake. Alright, so we've got our chilled coupe glass here, strainer, and just like we did with the bee's knees, going to double strain. And then with this one, I'm going to do a lime wheel, similar to the lemon wheel on the bee's knees. Just a thin wheel sort of floated on top of the drink. This will give a little extra bitterness from the pith. It'll give you a little hit of bright liminess on the nose when you take a sip, but it's not really adding any citrus to the drink. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give this one a little taste. Yeah, so that is much more complex than if I were to just squeeze the lime, mix it with the simple and the gin. You're getting all these like super limey, like blimey limey notes that like just really make a gimlet that you can't get from just the juice alone. Super crisp, super fresh. Love myself a gin gimlet. Alright, the last cocktail today. This one's a little bit different than the other, kind of a wild card. Everything else has been sort of using pantry items like simple syrup, honey syrup, lemon juice, lime juice. This one, again, it's only 3 ingredients, so it's a simple gin cocktail. The ingredients are all in equal parts, so there's nothing to memorize. But this is my favorite gin cocktail of all time, and so I just wanted to show it to you here. So when I say equal parts, they can be any part size you want. Now, a traditional Negroni, did I say the Negroni? This is the Negroni. So traditional Negroni, especially if you get it at a bar, or any of the recipes you read online, are probably going to be 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce. Why? Because a 3-ounce cocktail fits nicely in a glass of this size, and it's a responsible serve. Now, if you wanted a Negroni in a pint glass, sure, you could do 2 ounce, 2 ounce, 2 ounce. The key here is that they're all equal measures. If you're making a pitcher, 1 bottle, 1 bottle, 1 bottle, as long as it's not this little bottle, it's the full size. Anyway, I digress. Equal parts cocktail, easiest drink in the world to remember, the Negroni. So, 3 ingredients. Sweet vermouth. I like to use an Italian sweet vermouth for this. This is the Carpano Classico, I think. Carpano Classico. A little less vanilla than the Carpano Antica. Campari, which is an Italian aperitivo style liqueur. 1 ounce of Campari. Campari is kind of an acquired taste. It's very bitter, but I think it's balanced nicely by the sweet vermouth and the gin in this cocktail. And then, of course, 1 ounce of gin. This is a fun drink to play around with different styles of gin. This is very citrusy gin, but a more robust juniper forward gin like Junipero or Tanqueray would work really well in this cocktail as well. Alright, so glass for this, I'm going to be using a rocks glass. I'll be using 1 large cube. You can also do smaller cubes. It's just going to dilute a little bit faster, which kind of works a little bit in this cocktail, but I'm going to go with a big cube today. Make that look really nice in that glass. Fill your tin up with ice, and this is actually going to be a stirred drink. So all the other drinks are either built or shaken. This one's going to be stirred because, unlike all the other cocktails, there is no citrus juice, right? So when there's all clear ingredients, I like to keep the drink looking nice and clear like a jewel. So that's why I'm stirring it. Now, I'm using a metal tin to stir. You could use a glass, mason jar. Doesn't really matter as long as you get it below freezing. And the tin just sort of accelerates that a little bit because it's metal. The metal absorbs the heat. So this process is going to go quicker depending on your ice size. With this ice, average ice, it's probably going to be about 30 seconds. So I'm going to call that done. And then to your rocks glass that you've got prepared here with the large cube, just going to strain that over that. Look at that brilliant reddish brown tinge from that nice sweet vermouth. So traditionally this gets garnished with an orange twist or an orange slice. I like the orange slices. I forgot to buy oranges, so I'm going to teach you how to improvise. We're going to use lemon. So if a recipe, well, if a recipe called for orange juice and you use lemon juice, it probably wouldn't turn out. But as far as the garnish goes in this cocktail, I think that the lemon is going to give it that sort of pithy, fresh, zesty note that it needs. Even though it's not the orange, I think the orange works a little bit better, but lemon is not the end of the world. So I just dropped that slice in there, just a half a wheel slice, and there you go. That is the Negroni cocktail. Going to go ahead and give this a taste. If you've never had a Negroni or Campari specifically before, this drink is going to be a shocker to your palate, especially if you've made the other 5 or the other 4 drinks so far in this video. It's a little sweeter than everything else, but the bitterness is what was really gonna like grab you and sort of surprise you. It's like bitter grapefruit, red fruits, but sweet at the same time, bittersweet. Just an excellent cocktail. I like them before dinner because it sort of gets your appetite ready, because it does have an aperitivo, which is designed to do that. So anyway, there you have it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. That really helps out with the algorithm here on YouTube. They push this video out to more people. Hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss whenever I post new videos like this. I do post new videos every week. And until next time, cheers. Oh, and also, in the comments down below, let me know. Make these cocktails, try them. Let me know what's your favorite. What do we make? The Tom Collins, the Bee's Knees, the Gin and Tonic, the Gim Gimlet, or the Negroni. Let me know in the comments down below. And also, go check me out on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, HomeBarPro. I'll link that down below as well. Alright, until next time.